Both. There we are. All right, welcome to the coaching call. In order to follow the format of coaching calls, what is your other victory from this week?
Well, I spent several hours just writing down concepts and ideas for all the 9 recordings. And I found that was very beneficial, just sort of regrouping and putting into my head all the areas that I think would give good content, a lot of information that's going to go out in all different formats of media. So I think that was the most valuable for me. Also, you know, just congratulating myself that I actually got myself back up to date after I stopped playing with my family. We had wonderful several days, although I did come back with a cold because at Lake Tahoe we really did go through 4 seasons in 1 week.
Yeah, it was crazy up there.
Yeah, it was, but beautiful when we left, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful time. And I truly did take several days and not look at the computer except to do an email thing. But
excellent. That's huge. That's important. So that's great. Good job.
Yeah. So yesterday I got back on and brought myself up to date with things, and so I'm up to task at this point. So I'm going to celebrate that as well.
Good. Fabulous. All right. So how can I be of assistance for you today?
Well, let's go through several questions that I know weren't pertinent for the other program. For some reason, my header has disappeared from my site, and it's there. I mean, when I go to look at, you know, that I've set it up, but it's not showing up when I go to look at it by just logging into hangoutmentor.com. I wonder if you would check.
Hangoutmentor.com, sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I am seeing it. Do a screen share here. This is what I'm seeing. Okay, the screen share. This is what I see when I go to your site.
Okay, that's what I would expect. Oh, look at, you see blog too. See, that was my other question. Why isn't blog showing up?
So the possible reason why. Whoa, look at you with the fancy video at the beginning.
I'd like you to meet him. Yeah, I just learned how to do that. Video FX.
I like it. So part of the reason why you may not be seeing it is you may still be technically logged in as a member, and you may be looking at a member menu versus a regular menu. So let me show you. Let me kind of show you what I mean. I just need to log in from a page, and I'm going to go to the members area. Or the menus. So under any page, you can go to, under exclude pages, there's a little thing called menus. Mm-hmm. And this will take you into the menus area. I think I've covered this at some point.
Yeah, I've been there sometimes.
It all starts to run together after a little while. So once it decides to open, which will be a glorious moment. Mm-hmm. My poor computer has way too much stuff going on. So I have the public menu and then the members menu. And I'm guessing what might happen for you is that you're logged in as a member, so the blog and your banner may not actually be part of that. Because like my members menu is much different than my public menu.
Well, that's a little bit of a concern to me because I want to have a good look to the site when they're logged in as a member. And that was a little bit why I was thinking, well, what can I do to make this look a little more professional and work from, you know, the looks of the home page when they're there. I want them to see the blog. Why wouldn't a member be able to see the blog at the?
The member can, and you can absolutely make it so the member can. You just have to add the member tab into the members menu. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I could easily take my blog page and add it in here. I could add any page I want into here.
Into the members area as well as the public area.
Yeah, you just have to go into the menu and choose that you're going to edit members and then just stick the blog in here somewhere. That's totally doable.
Okay. But how can I keep my header in there?
That one, you know, it's one of those things that it may just be the page template that the header's not on. part of the reason why the header's not on every page is because it's got this piece to it, and once they're a member, this needs to go away because they don't need to take the tour.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense to me, but I want something that looks better than this. I'm kind of stickler on making sure that it really looks good for a member. They're the ones that are paying.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to be bluntly honest and say that I think you're worrying about a problem that isn't a problem.
Okay, all right.
Because they don't care about the header. They care about the content.
Uh-huh.
They're paying for the content, not for pretty.
Well, I know, but when you're on the main page, you're seeing those categories, and instead, when a person's there, they're looking at, just posts on the side. So I guess I am concerned about how they navigate this thing. And
so that's where the menu comes in. That's the piece that matters from the menu's perspective. So this is my public menu. Let me go back. I don't know if I'm still on screen share. I am.
Yeah, you are.
My public one. I'm going to log in. And then they get in here, and they have all of this other navigation that they can do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all done by the menu.
On the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like they can access my articles and sub-articles, videos and sub-videos. So if they're on let's say they're looking at an article, I'll just go to my main articles. Here's all the articles. Clearly, this is my practice site.
I get it.
The first two top articles are that Sean is cool, which I think is always fun. So I still have this. I mean, mine looks exactly the same as yours, except I have this navigation built from the members by going into the menu section. That's all I did. This navigation is how people get around your site, not this stuff is less important.
Okay.
I still like having categories just in case they want to be able to get there from within the page and recent posts.
Right.
But I can go into where is it? Look and feel widgets. And I could get rid of that tag cloud if I wanted to.
The sidebar, I see.
Yeah, you just edit the sidebar.
Okay.
So that's why mine shows, recent posts, archives, tags, and then I've got my Facebook post in there. I mean, that's all these are, is the archives, reposts, categories, tag cloud, and text. That's all that is.
Okay. The premise of your membership site or a membership site in general that is not something that is geared toward a step-by-step approach looks to me like an accumulation of information. So again, if you weren't going to do the step-by-step approach, what would you suggest to help people get the best benefit from using the site and being a member?
So I believe in the step-by-step approach is the right way to go, which is why even my site has a challenge associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are going to get to be able to do that.
So right now, really, all you want us to do is just keep adding information, and once we get ready to do that, we'll categorize it into the step-by-step format.
You'll be able to then take any content you want and add it into here. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so you'll have your own ability to do a step-by-step. That's not a problem. But in order to be able to do that, you still have to have content. You still have to have information. Keep in mind, we've got folks who they have zero content related to what they're doing.
Yeah.
So we're taking people. I mean, people have got to learn how to do social media first. They've got to learn how to actually add content first before we can. Because if I said, okay, and your task today is to create a 7-day challenge to help people understand the information in your site, people are going to, I don't have any information in my site. So that's why we do it. It's very intentional in the steps that we take people through.
Okay, but we're in the process now of building a list, and I have downloaded the calendar, and I see that we need to click on that every day to go into the list building calendar and follow the directions for that. And we're also going to be, maybe
this will help you understand.
Okay.
So you're building a list. At no point have we told you to go out and actually get members yet.
Okay, so that has to do with my autoresponders that I'm not going to be sending them to my Hangout marketing site yet, is what you're saying.
You can be, but we're not actively teaching you how to recruit members yet.
Okay.
We're building a list right now, and we're making sure that you have a membership site that people will want to join.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We've got 9 weeks in this, and odds are you're not going to even start looking for a member till week 7, 8, or 9.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just so happens that my one friend found it. I didn't even tell her about it. She found it someplace. I had it.
And that's fine. This is the idea.
Because I posted that video that you saw.
Yeah.
For people to see and comment on, and of course that's right here. I had a link to join. So.
Yeah. So you'll have some members start to trickle in, but we're not actively going out to get your members yet. Right now, you just need to start building that list. You need. There'll be a whole idea of time to bring in the members, but right now, I mean, we're going to teach you how to do membership levels. We're going to make sure that you know how to distinguish what content each level gets, how to divide your content up into a challenge system so that they are getting their hand held as soon as they come in. All of that is still to come.
Cool. Well, I'm very excited about that. Perhaps I, excuse me, should show you my my lead page then, because what I did was go to lead pages and develop one. First of all, I didn't like what I had as an option for building a list, and so I found my own PLR and edited it and added some information about Hangout marketing to it.
That's fine.
So from there, they're getting onto my list, and so then I can direct them to the getting started. But again, you don't want me to direct them to that yet, so I understand that.
And you can, and that's fine. I'm saying we are not talking about getting members yet. If you're getting members and you're driving traffic, that's fine, and you're going to start seeing that happen, but that is not our focus right now.
Okay. Okay.
We are not. That is not the focus of what we're working on. You're not at that point where getting members should be your priority.
So I'm posting on the different social networks, which I've done for some time. A new one for me is Tumblr. I thought it was new anyway. Maybe you have some thoughts for me on this, because when I went to, there's a couple things, because I don't know what's also happening as far as the outsourcing is concerned. I noticed that, when I gave my login information for the outsourcing, now Facebook shut down my Facebook because someone had logged in from a strange place onto my site. So I had to change my password to Facebook. So I'm not sure if the SEO can be done anymore through Facebook if they don't have the correct password. Is there something I need to do to correct that?
You can submit it to the help desk, and the help desk can then pass on the new password to them, so that's not an issue.
Okay. I'm just concerned it's going to keep happening.
Well, what you're going to get is a notice from Facebook saying, hey, this person attempted to log in from the Philippines. Was this you? Say yes.
Okay.
And that'll solve that problem.
Okay. So that's what I'll do with that. Tumblr, I have no recollection of ever going to Tumblr before in my life. And it says my email address is already in use. Is that, again, possibly because of the SEO?
Yes, they would have set up a Tumblr account. That's one of the accounts that they set up for you.
All right, so I have no way of knowing how to log into that.
You'll get all that information later. You don't need to be doing everything that they're doing. They're doing it for you with your videos. Great,
but I'm just also following your advice, and that is go and post in social media, and that was one of them. So.
Yeah, and you can ignore that one. Ignore Tumblr. When I first made that video, there was no discussion going on about the fact that we were going to have them doing Tumblr for you.
Okay, cool. Well, then I don't have to worry about that. So what I'll keep posting to is Google, obviously. I've set up a page because I had not done anything but my profile and was posting everything from my profile. So now I have a Hangout Mentor business page associated with my profile. So I'll be, at this point, you want me to be posting there more than on my profile page, or 50-50?
Yeah, I mean, you want to start building up people to see that business is, like, they want to know that business is what it is that you do, not just you as an individual.
Yeah,
especially if you're posting anything else. Like, for my personal profile, I put in the fact that I went and got a tattoo over the weekend. That has nothing to do with me growing my business.
Right.
So my videos don't get posted to that page. They get posted to my business page.
Yeah, that makes total sense. For instance, I wouldn't, I did the story with Google Pluses now for my vacation. Tried that new story feature out. That would not go on my business page for sure.
Exactly. That's, yeah. And so that's why you want a business page, so that everybody, and you're going to drive all your traffic and you're going to do all your discussions on Google when you're talking to folks about why Hangouts work and how you can mentor them on that. You're doing that all as your business page, not as your personal person.
Now, I have linked my Google Plus account to my Twitter account so that my posts on Google Plus are going to Twitter, and now I'm thinking maybe I need to change that and link the business page instead to the Twitter account. Would that be your suggestion?
If you can do that, that's worth it. I don't remember if that's even doable. I forgot if you can link a business page to Twitter. If you can, I would do that. I've never tried it off the top of my head. I'm not a Twitter person, so that's probably, of all the social media, that's the one I can speak to the least.
Okay. Well, the other thought for me is that if I'm posting something on my business page, it probably makes sense to go ahead and repost it on my profile page.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, exactly. I think that makes total sense, because then people can, you're basically talking about this great business that you know of, which just happens to be your own.
Okay. Well, that answers those questions. Tumblr's answered. So what did you find out that you wouldn't tell me before about this Google Plus profile URL? Remember I said last week I was not able to paste my G Plus page address into the user profile?
Yeah, and it's because you have an older account, because you've had an account before, and the old accounts didn't have that option, so we just have to do some programming to your dashboard behind the scenes for that to show up.
Really?
Yeah.
How did I end up with an older account since I've been with you for the Hangout marketing program? That's what you mean? Yeah,
somewhere along the lines you already had something in place, and so I don't totally understand it. That's what the tech team told me, and they said they're working on it. That's still what I know.
All right. So I won't worry about that.
Yeah, there's limits to how many questions I ask them.
I'll bet. I did go in and obviously set up a member in another email so I could look at things, because I hadn't been able to do that. So good. I understand now that that's why I wasn't seeing certain things the way I expected to. And when you click on a page to view a page, after you've done a post, when I say click on to view post, actually, it looks different than actually if they see it in the members page. Again, it's just a visual issue.
Yeah, and that's why I recommend setting up that other account, so you can then look at it and then go back and make the edits the way you want. The view post, and it's because you're viewing it as a author, but not as an actual person who's a member. It's a membership thing, and the easiest answer is use the other account to be able to view it.
Okay, well that's what I assumed.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else I have here for you. Oh, this was just a thought. Okay, this was a thought, and that was from the lead generation page. Once you get someone to register for your free ebook, I have been looking at a little stuff on surveying, and I'm just wondering if you have done any work in this regard, but it sounded like it made sense to actually provide them with a survey fairly early on to find out what their interests might be, their needs might be, how best I could address their needs. Have you done any work with surveys on opt-in lists?
I use surveys a lot. Let me pull up another page real quick. This is another membership site that I have, and this is my entry, like the initial thing. Let me open up the page so you can see what I'm seeing. But I'm doing a simple survey like this, where I'm just getting some basic information about them, and then this decides how I communicate to them. Mm-hmm. What I'm going to say is it's coming. Explanation of this, how it works, why it's beneficial, all of this is coming. I think we're going to go in depth on this idea at the live event, because it's not necessarily a membership site tactic. It's a tactic you could use with your membership site, but we're going to go into, that's going to be one of the things that we are going to discuss actually in detail at the live event is that idea of, I call them disqualifications or qualification surveys. We're going to talk about that, but not till the live event.
Okay. Well, my thought was that as I was setting up the autoresponders for the list building, that I really could gear the put them in different lists actually within the autoresponder, depending on their experience levels, their area of interest, the type of business they have, all those areas that I think might help me gear, the final communication with them in a way that's going to speak to them the most effectively.
I think you're on the right track, and I would think, your autoresponders aren't necessarily going to let you do that quite in the same way you're thinking. I can do that with mine because I'm using a different system. I'm in Infusionsoft. So every answer in here actually creates a tag for me, and I can decide what that tag means. But it doesn't necessarily mean, I'm showing the page, but it's not back on. So each one of these, like by clicking yes, that actually tags this person in a way that's different than if they clicked on no.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm using an Infusionsoft survey, not a eye contact survey.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to say is I like where you're going, and wait until the event to get a better, like don't try to implement that right now.
Okay.
It's not worth you putting that effort in right now.
Okay, so right now you really want me to just take that lead generation page and offer it to the different social networking sites, not overdoing it, but just making people aware of it, and maybe discussing around that topic in a way that generates interest.
Yeah, right now, if there was going to be nothing else you were going to do, I want you on social media growing your community. I'm even less worried about you sharing that link to the free offer. Mm-hmm. That's less important to me. I want you growing community and establishing yourself as an authority. Okay. So that means you're spending, like, it's the 50-50 thing. Half the time on social media, you should be on other people's pages contributing to their conversation.
Got it.
If you're going to do anything at all, that is the highest priority, is contributing to the conversation in social media. That's even more important than posting to your own social media, and it's definitely more important than sharing the link to that free offer.
Okay. It's all ready to go, and it's not important that I do much with that right now.
Right, because the world needs to know you actually have expertise first.
Okay, that makes sense. Regarding the eye contact, I already have
I have to ask you a really quick question. Are you in marketing online?
No.
Marketing online. Are you in an MLM?
I have another business, which is what I did my Savvy Shopper show on.
Okay. I'm noticing the bottles on the back, and they look very familiar to a MLM I used to be part of.
Market America.
That's what it is. Yep. Okay. Sorry.
Interesting. So I have AWeber, and I'm very used to AWeber. Do I need to be using eye contact?
No, you can use AWeber. AWeber's fine. The reason we have eye contact is simply the fact of a lot of people don't have anything, and eye contact we can give them.
Okay. Okay.
You can use AWeber and run everything through AWeber. You should even be able to connect AWeber to your membership site and use that as your system.
Oh, well, if I can figure out how to do that, that would be great as far as I'm concerned. I'm just not having to learn one more contact program.
And I would say wait till next week for that.
Okay. I'm always ahead of you, aren't I, Sean?
I think you're 2 weeks ahead of me, but that's all right. We do talk about how to set up email settings, and let's see if I'll bring up the thing. I'm just going to give you a quick tour, but we do show you this. This is there's email settings. Let's see, configuration. You can set up your configuration. Let's see if I can remember which one it is now. That's really funny. I don't remember. Oh, not setup wizard. Integration. That's what it is.
Okay.
Integration. This is for the shopping cart, so you're integrated with PayPal. But under autoresponder, you can actually change the integration under autoresponder.
Okay.
To AWeber.
Okay, that would be good.
So you can switch over to AWeber instead of eye contact, and that's not a problem. I use Infusionsoft just because that's where I take payment and email from, which is why I love it. But because it lets me do all of that from one location instead of having a bunch of different platforms. But it's also a paid service. It also has a whole lot of other things to it. So.
Well, it was great to see with the one member who joined that the PayPal account worked just fine. So because that was kind of tedious setup. I remember going through that where you taught that in the seminar.
So it's definitely.
Once it's done, I'm not touching it.
Exactly, once it's in place, and you don't want to go anywhere near it. So that's good.
Yeah. So I think that I'm going to just double check, but I think that answers my questions for now.
Awesome. I mean, you had an hour, but usually they're actually only supposed to be about a half hour for the calls. So,
okay.
So let's talk a little bit about what's your ultimate goal for this site? What is it that you ultimately want to offer people?
Ultimately, I want to offer, and predominantly my goal or my target market are tech-challenged women entrepreneurs. And the reason I came to this is that as I was doing the Hangout Marketing course, I had so many businesswomen saying, will you teach me how to do this? This seems so complicated. I need someone to show me and keep it simple. So since I'm having so much fun with it, I thought, well, yeah, this would be a great topic for a membership site. So my ultimate goal is to really reach out to and help small business women, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, on how to get their name out there, how to brand themselves, and how to create some form of a Hangout program that's going to increase their visibility and their online influence. And I know that there's going to be people coming from different, just like you have, different backgrounds in technology. And my whole point is, look, I started out not knowing anything about Hangouts, and you can do it too. So my premise in the PDFs that I'm creating is, you can do this. Next step, you can do this. And help them feel, empowered in that they can do it and not feel overwhelmed. So taking it from, some of the very basic things that you taught so well and Aoife taught so well into, I'm not going much into Google itself, although they certainly need to, do a Google profile, but I'm not doing that part. But I'm just trying to give them the basics on how to get out there and spread the word, how to start a show online that they could use for interviewing or for teaching purposes, product information purposes, any way that they want to use it in their business just to get the word out about what they're doing.
Gotcha. And I think it makes sense. And so, I mean, I want to, from a membership site perspective, the Hangout Marketing Challenge, this UMSC, these are all being done inside membership sites. We're delivering all this content as a membership site. You're going to get the same plugin that you guys use to go through and get track points and all of that. You're going to get that exact same plugin inside your dashboard.
Yeah, well, that's exciting to me because I still think what you all have created is something that I have never seen anyplace else. I mean, you guys have nailed it. There's no doubt about it. So.
And I can tell you, you won't see that challenge, task, click points anyplace else because Eric and his team personally wrote the plugin to make that happen.
Well, that's fabulous.
Yeah. So it works out really well. So that's awesome.
And so when I talked to Alex, I told him, I said, well, I just want to emulate you. And he said, well, that's my whole goal, is to have people duplicating me. So it's just a matter of touching more people's lives in ways that I think is going to be beneficial to them and their business.
I think you're spot on. I think you've got the right concept. The site's going to be that. The best advice I can say is be patient. We're going to get to some of the stuff you want. And we're doing it somewhat intentionally. Like, we're not going to have you build your challenge for your new members to experience until we first know what levels of membership people are going to be, which we have to teach you how to do membership levels. And then once you have a challenge built, then we can start actively driving traffic to get members. But that's probably week 9.
That's fine. I understand that it makes total sense to me. But I've sort of, since we did the intensive in February, I sort of outlined, really what I wanted the program to consist of, including membership levels, including, one-on-one coaching, and the ability to help them produce a show if they wanted production. So I've put together 3 membership tiers already that I'm gearing toward.
Good.
And the basic one, and I don't know, I did put in my membership to be an introduction of $4.95. I think it was for 21 days, and then going up to $27 after that. Is that typically what you've been doing? Because it was a little confusing. You had mixed messages on what you suggested there.
Yeah, because it depends on what people want to be doing. I think that model is going to work really well, especially if you have a kind of introductory challenge system that covers those 21 days of 3 weeks, getting them feel. Because what's going to happen is they're going to be like, wow, this is great. I want to stay with this person, and then they're going to pay the extra amount.
Yeah.
So I think that works fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm excited to onward and upward.
That's fantastic. Reach out if you've got any other questions. But other than that, last word, last thought for today.
I'm really into create right now.
Perfect.
And that is to create the life of your dreams, to create the program of your dreams, and to create something that's going to be meaningful for the people that I draw to me.
I like it. I think you're spot on. This is perfect.
Okay, thanks, Sean.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Oh, Sean, one quick thing.
Yes.
Where do I go to register for the rest of the coaching sessions? As I only just registered for this one.
It's that same link. I will email. Let me see if I can remember what the heck it's called. There it is. Let me bring it up, and I'll just post it in the
chat.
Yeah. And here's the link.
And again, how many of these should I schedule, and how often?
Aim for one-to-one a month, because you guys are going to get all those the 2 o'clock at 2 calls anyway. So just one for each month over the next 2 months.
Okay, so there'll be 2 more after this then.
Yeah.
Okay, will do.
Perfect.
Got it.
You're going to want to copy that link before you leave the Hangout because it goes away.
I just did.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
Awesome. Then we're all set. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Sean. Bye-bye.
Yes.